Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving deep into the physiological rationale behind restructuring a mismanaged, super-intensive olive grove. We're looking specifically at olives that are currently right in the thick of the structural reform and flowering phase. Our main technical objective here? It's all about correcting some pretty severe setup errors to restore that critical vegetative productive equilibrium and, of course, absolutely optimized light interception.
So here is our analytical framework for today. We'll start with an overview of the agronomic system, move into vegetative imbalance analysis, then cover the structural reform itself, the physiology behind topping and edging, autoregulation equilibrium, and finally wrap up with an integrated defense strategy.
All right, Part 1, Agronomic System Overview. Let's get our baseline parameters established.
The crucial thing here is really understanding our starting ground. As I mentioned, we're working with olives, specifically grown in a super-intensive bushing wall system. The phenological phase we're observing right now is the structural reform period, which actually coincides with flowering. And our ultimate goal? Restoring that vegetative productive balance. Essentially, this means we're correcting the canopy architecture to really maximize photosynthetic efficiency and ensure the plant is properly renewing its fruitful wood.
Moving on to Section 2, Vegetative Imbalance Analysis. First, we need to diagnose exactly what went wrong physiologically.
Now, I want to be super clear on this. The super-intensive model itself didn't conceptually fail here. Rather, this specific grove suffered a massive loss of physiological equilibrium over time. Basically, what we saw was just excessive accumulated vigor. The vegetative wall got completely out of whack, highly compacted, poorly aerated. This really aggressive upward growth basically created severe internal shading. And physiologically speaking, when you have that kind of strong apical dominance combined with a really high shade-to-light ratio, the plant just drastically stops forming balanced productive wood. Plus, all that compaction creates this overly humid microclimate which leaves the plant wide open to bacterial infections.
Just look at this structural evolution from April 2022 to November 2024. It is quite literally a complete architectural reset. The restructuring completely rebuilt the vegetative wall strictly through new growth that pushed out after some really drastic reform cuts. It effectively replaced the entire old structural framework.
Which leads us to Section 3, Structural Reform Intervention. Let's look at the mechanical steps taken to actually fix these physiological nightmares.
The logic driving this intervention really follows the practical field experience of agronomist Vito Vitelli. Step 1 is making a drastic reform cut down at about 70 to 90 centimeters from the collar. This stimulates reconstruction, but also allows machinery to actually get in there. Step 2 is cleaning the basal 55 to 60 centimeters. Then, Step 3 is progressively shaping a brand new upward wall using repeated topping and edging passes, spaced out at about 15 centimeter intervals.
Okay, Section 4. The physiology of topping and edging.
Now, differentiating the mechanical action from the actual physiological result is absolutely key here. Topping mechanically targets those top apices, but physiologically it breaks apical dominance and forces the plant's energy outward to create flexible secondary branches. Edging, on the other hand, cuts the lateral walls to limit outward expansion, which dramatically improves internal light penetration. Running these cycles creates a compact skeleton that produces elastic, bouncy vegetation that is completely primed for fruiting.
And that introduces a really crucial concept, calming cuts. Listen, this is not about heavily stripping the tree, not at all. Calming cuts just involve the targeted removal of literally a few centimeters from the most aggressive upright apices. Agronomically, this harmonizes the canopy, it prevents those crazy aggressive vegetative reactions, and redirects all the plant's resources right back into strengthening those flexible, fruit-bearing lateral branches. It's a continuous action of vegetative rebalancing, transforming what was an overly aggressive wall into a highly stable, highly productive structure.
All right, Section 5, Autoregulation Equilibrium. This is where we see a fundamental shift in how we manage canopies. As you can see, this abundant flowering phase perfectly demonstrates the success of those flexible laterals. Because our topping and edging mitigated all that excessive vigor, the plant is now happily directing its energy into reproductive potential rather than just useless, uncontrolled vertical growth.
So the shift in methodology here is crystal clear. Traditional management, as we know, often relies on continuous, heavy manual pruning, basically fighting the plant's vigor with indiscriminate cuts just to shrink the canopy size. But modern management? Backed by international scientific literature on high-density systems, it entirely shifts the paradigm. It relies on autoregulation. We achieve this by balancing the vegetative and productive phases, ensuring diffuse lighting throughout the entire canopy, and cleverly using root competition and the actual physical weight of the fruit itself to calm down vegetative growth.
This quote really hits the nail on the head regarding the modern approach. The tendency is no longer to excessively lighten the plant, but to manage vigor through vegetative productive balance, letting the fruit itself naturally slow the plant's vigor. So for the current year, there's going to be absolutely no heavy thinning or internal clearing. The agronomic logic is to leave as much productive vegetation as possible. Why? Because the physical weight and the energy sink of that developing harvest will naturally contain the plant's excess vigor. Only in the following year will we start gradual internal thinning, using return cuts to slowly improve aeration without shocking the system.
Finally, Section 6, Integrated Defense Strategy. When it comes to plant health, our defense strategy is strictly integrated and driven by physiology. We heavily prioritize progressive canopy aeration and really careful microclimate management to knock down that humidity. When necessary, we utilize sanitizing treatments alongside the targeted introduction of antagonistic microorganisms. This reduces the bacterial pressure while completely respecting the biological equilibrium of the grove.
And that brings us to a final, critical question for you all. Can we finally stop fighting the orchard's natural vigor and instead engineer a canopy architecture that actually regulates itself through the weight of its own harvest? The recovery we've analyzed today really proves that even severely mismanaged high-density systems can be completely reset physiologically. By understanding apical dominance, optimizing light quality, and literally letting the fruit balance the wood, we can build technical sustainability and serious long-term productive stability. Thank you for joining this explainer. I really hope this analytical framework helps you optimize your own agronomic strategies out in the field.